Okay, let's tap in for another message. If we may get a message. Oh, my babes. I don't know when my client is going to call me to go pick her up for our first destination, but we are going to, whose line is it anyways tonight? I'm a private driver, if you guys didn't know. At least for a minute. Okay, we have Dolphin, cooperate with others. Either you guys are really good at this, starting to tap into this, or you need to. Okay, what's the message for my babes? Just trying to get a message. Let's tap in. Cooperate with others. I'm so ready. I've been so isolated and alienated, or feeling so different. And then I met some of you guys, and I recently met somebody who had a similar experience as me with the beam coming through my body and connecting to the stars, and then a flash, and then, there are so many magical stories, like near-death experiences, and when people can hear and see things. It's so bizarre. I didn't experience anything supernatural that I knew of. I probably was the whole time, but I could feel the magic, and I knew something. And then now it's always happening. I can, I don't know what happened and why it went from like no experiences to all the time. Like if there was an actual shift in parallel universe or rebirth, something happened. Anyways, in this new reality of mine, I'm connecting and cooperating with others on a level that I didn't know existed. I mean, I knew, but I thought it was going to be like when I died and went to heaven. And perhaps that's a little bit of like what happened. Something happened, and now it's the other side, the Dharma, the unfolding that I knew was there is happening. But anyways, okay, so cooperate with others. Connect. There's so much to learn outside of yourself, although it's the internal knowing is where it's at, but you know what I mean. Cooperate with others. Dolphin energy feels pleasant and happy, and like a community that for the most part are all connecting. We don't want to give the haters the time of day, but there's been one or two messages that were like, and let me just say, when somebody comments hate message, there's a few ways to react. I can get angry and retaliate, or I can be like, oh my gosh, are you okay? Like, did you have a... Or I can just delete it and not fall into either of those energies. Just, I'm sorry, did you say something? Who are you? Next. So, that's how I deal with those. I didn't even read the whole thing. It was so hateful. Anyways, yep, just letting that go. Let me just say, it was like, they're like, somebody said, you guys are buying into this bullshit or something like that. And it's like, the comment mentioned something that I didn't even say, and so it was not even relevant, and so it made it so stupid. But let's say they hit on something that I actually said. It's like, the message is for so many people, for them just to attach to it like as if it was for them and it didn't resonate. It's like, don't you realize it might not be for you, and it could resonate for somebody else? And even if it's like, get over yourself. It's just so bizarre. It's like, even if I do say something that is, let's say, misleading, it's like, I'm sorry, but we just need to cooperate with others. And I'm sorry. I mentioned this before, but my boss / client, the one I drive for, she went to a psychic the other day, and give me a second, okay? Because before she did this, she knew that I did tarot, and she was like, "Oh, we should do something," and I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then she went to this psychic, and then she convinced me to get a reading myself, and it was like, I feel, it makes me feel a type of way, because I figured there's nothing she could say that I don't already know, and she didn't say anything. It felt like a, it felt like a, it felt like a, not a scam, because, if you just read the energies, it's gonna resonate somehow. But like, anyways, it was, it was an experience that I could see why tarot could get a bad rap, and how people can bamboozle you for your money through a misleading message is not cool. So I appreciate the experience to see the side of it that people, there's a reason why people resist tarot and psychics. I got to see firsthand. I already knew, figured, or could see, but like firsthand, it was a thing. Like, and so it was what it was. But anyways, we're gonna cooperate with others. And what's the message? I love you guys. Thank you for dealing with me and trying to deal with yourself and discover ways to bust through limiting beliefs and understanding the intricate psyche of us. Okay, I've been trying to tap into lover energy this morning. Should we just... All of a sudden feeling nervous. think I have like one other deck that's kind of deals with lover energy, but this one does for sure. It's called the Island Time Wellness Love Oracle. Oh, and then we have Naughty Oracle. I don't want to talk about those who are connected to a narcissist, but like these are Exhausted Eagle, seek support. Naughty Oracle number 15. I guess we'll keep this. I haven't got this one. It's not too triggering. Exhausted Eagle. If you feel like your energy is being drained by somebody, it's in your best interest to recognize that, and whether you can exit the situation or not, you can take back your energy somehow by paying attention to what is their energy and what is yours, and trying to sift and sort and separate. Anyways, we have cooperate with others, Exhausted Eagle, seek support. Let's get a wellness love oracle. And if you're not connected with anybody, intimately, this could be helpful to sort out some situation from your past, or this is something in your future that is going to happen and will help you somehow. It says not enough, frustrated in relationship, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear, ego issues, and jealousy. Jealousy is nearly one of the most toxic energies that exists. And if there is such thing as doppelgangers or clones, that I feel like never mind. Never mind. Please dismiss that, because sometimes I feel like there's like a whole institution of toxicity that's just programmed to fuck things up. And jealousy is one of the programs that they ensue. But like, I just realized that it is in our organic human nature to have this like the feeling of jealousy or envy is so it's an energy that how do I explain this? When we feel jealous or envious, it doesn't have anything to do with the person that you are envious or jealous of. It has to do with yourself, and where you feel like you want to be but you're not, and because they are, you make it's like you project something outward, but it's something from within that when you shift that, and this could be somebody you're dealing with, you may have already overcome these toxic energies of jealousy and envy, but when you recognize within yourself or whatever you are envious of, that instead of having it be negative, turn it into, I appreciate the example of what I would like to embody. I'm going to work on that for myself. And so when we look inwards and develop what it is that we see outside of ourselves that we want, it's like we have to recognize the potential within, and to develop that potential within that could perhaps surpass whatever it is that you're envious of. This is not coming out very well, but it is very important to identify when somebody is projecting envy onto you, and there needs to be a boundary there. Or when you start to do that yourself, to recognize it and to build yourself in a way that you are, I think you understand. Somebody here is seeking support because something's not enough, and cooperate with others. There's something here about that's just a side note. This could turn into a lovely love reading. That's what I was going for. When somebody's frustrated in a relationship and it's not enough, let's just see what happens. Self-sabotage, jealousy, fear, ego issues. It's very important to go within for validation, to not look outside yourself for emotional validation. If you can help it, not look outside yourself for financial. Dependency is like when we become a whole person, knowing our worth, and it's like if somebody's making you feel exhausted, it says exhausted eagle. Somebody's making you feel exhausted or not enough, you're allowing their energy to direct your worth, and that's not it. We gotta discover our personal power. And then exceed their characters. Actually. Alright, what's this message? Cooperate with others. Seek support. Girl talk. How fitting. Time with friends, moving on. Happily single, living in the moment, having fun. Let's talk about it. What's the message from my babes? Just trying to self-validate, if we may. Talking. Interested. Conversing more. Awaited message arrives. Text, call, email, hovering. Let's get some more. Somebody's about to get some correspondence. Twin flames. Okay. Yin yang, zen, balance, union, duality, coupling, complement each other. Right under not enough. When we connect with a mate, they're at a certain level in their ascension, let's say, their life, and you are at yours, and you guys reflect these levels. Where they are, it makes you know where you're not, and where you are, it lets them see where they're not. And so if you guys are in drastically different levels, it's going to make somebody feel not enough, and you're trying to balance it and become equal. And sometimes we have to separate and ascend independently and then come back, and somebody might have at that point ascended further, whether you're connecting to the same actual physical vessel or somebody else with their whatever. It's like we kind of grow together and separate, and then sometimes it's, ultimately we wish to have this perfect harmony and connection, and then the fucking relationship of a lifetime, but it takes, to have that perfect connection, we have to become independently whole within self, and then we complement each other. It says complement each other. So right now you're complimenting somebody somehow, but it's not enough, and we're going to talk about it. All right, 2 more. Seek support, cooperate with others. You are not alone. Number 15, 6. Dolphin energy. Keys on a ring. Many options. Decision. Unconventional. String along. One night stand. Right under girl talk. I don't know if this is you, if you have many options, or if you're connected with somebody and they have many options, and they are, you don't even know that their eyes are wandering. But we're going to talk about it. Time with friends, moving on, happily single. And perhaps, it's a time where you can just date and have it says one night stand, string along, but it's like we kind of have to connect with people that we might know is not going to work out, but there's something there that is for us, and so we make these connections for a time, because we're looking for the one, and so we don't have to deny everybody, even though we know they're not enough, because we're trying to discover parts of us that through others, cooperating with others, seek support, girl talk, talking through others, allows us to know what we want and what we don't want. Just don't allow their projections to define you. Talking, what's this? Interested, conversing more, awaited message arrives, text, call, email, and hovering. Self-indulgence, focus on self, self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, self-appreciation. Self-indulgence. When you focus on yourself and build up your worth through healthy habits and such, becoming the person that you want that person to see and validate for you is like, become that person, and then you will inevitably connect with others who also have done the work and can reflect a better image of you. Looks like you guys are connected to a few people, and one of them's not enough, but they have something for you, and it's time to build your own inner dialogue, I heard. But it's like when I was with somebody who didn't reflect me and made me feel like I was like, that's not who I am. Instead of me trying to argue my who I am. It's like, no, this is what, instead of doing that, because I just knew that they were wrong, it was like, you're blind, waste of time, next. So it kind of becomes like where if they can't see, then then it's not gonna help if you try to convince them. It's just gonna make you look like it's just gonna give them ammunition to argue something that is not valid. So somebody here is exhausted, seeking support, cooperating with others, girl talk. And so we just, one day at a time. The fact that we have to deal with people that don't. Okay, and also, let me just say, I have a potential connection in my life with somebody who is not a jealous type, and they're not a narcissist, and they support me if I were to go away for 4 months on this cruise. And isn't it bizarre? It's almost like the fact that they are so comfortable with themselves and support me, who I am, and there's no fight about trying to see each other. Isn't it bizarre? It's like you almost miss that quarrel, that fight, that this is just a small example, but months ago I went on a ride with this guy who had a really fast, nice car, and as we were driving, he said something like, you couldn't handle the power of this car. And it's like, isn't it bizarre how we like to talk down to potential or lover energy, in like, it's like we like to pick on each other. Something about that energy is enticing, and we like to like fight a little bit. And it's like you're gonna wear that, like that kind of energy, instead of like this other guy that I'm talking to. He would never say something like that the way he spoke it. And it's like you kind of, it's like, isn't it bizarre how you overcome narcissistic poking energy, but then you kind of, I don't want to say you miss it, but we have to get to the point where we don't. It's so bizarre, because I like a little, it's like I like a little fight, but respectfully. So it's time to grow up and meet the person that is gonna give you a hard time in a different way, like elevate you a different way, instead of through petty undercuts. And I told the guy with the car, I was like, my car's a V8, duh, like, can't handle the power. And he was just kidding, but like, it was just an example of how we kind of like to talk down to our connections. And it's like, you stay there and keep their thumb on you. And we like to feel powerful, like the one, like, and keep, so that they chase us or keep adoring us or whatever. But we gotta overcome that kind of energy and then connect with the ones that are enough, and the ones that have personal inner validation. We don't look to each other for it. Together and separately we are whole, and together we just make a better complement of energy. Something like that. I'm not with anybody right now, and so this is kind of premature, but I'm just speaking on what I do know, and the fact that we have to deal with the things is so bizarre. Whatever, I think you guys get what I'm trying to say. So let's just get one more. One of these, I guess, for my babes. Just trying to get a message. If we